CM Punk making a WWE return in a non-wrestling role. We'll talk about it. Plus, an NXT star's contract is expiring, and the reason behind a WWE signing delay may have been revealed. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. Some nice, normal CM Punk news. It's been a while since we talked about, as you would lovingly call him, Chancery Montgomery.
Yes, that's his name. That's his full name. But his good friend Ace Steel has been speaking on a Wrestling Perspectives podcast, which went out today, and he said the following: "Woof woof, woof woof woof, woof woof woof." Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
But don't worry, Fightful Selector put it through a dog's translator and revealed the following. Ace Steel was asked about his very good friend CM Punk and what Punk will get up to now that he is on the bench. We saw him on Raw with the big contraption on his arm.
I think he's had surgery, hasn't he?
I've heard a rumour he's had some surgery done. And asked what he will do, Ace Steel revealed they want him on commentary. I don't know if they're going to go down that route since they did the angle to pull him out, since he did the storyline with him and Drew stomping his arm. It's physicality that puts him out, but they are keen to have him in a commentary position.
It's a very interesting time for this to come out because we just had new commentary teams established, both on Raw with Pat and Michael Cole, on SmackDown with Corey and Wade. NXT seems to be the destination because of one Booker T, who's going through some surgery at the moment that kept him away from Vengeance Day at the weekend. Wade Barrett was the one who replaced him for the pay-per-view at the weekend. Sorry, the premium live event at the weekend. So CM Punk, who was down at the NXT shed, I should call it, doing some, laps and reps before the Rumble. Maybe he could be going back there.
And he's very keen on being around NXT. We've seen lots of photos of him backstage with the NXT talent. I think he sees the role that he now has within WWE possibly as more of a long-term somebody that can work with younger talent as well, which I think suits him down to the ground.
Yeah, big time. I just hope he gets on board with the Kavorka of NXT because I can see CM Punk rolling his eyes at a lot of what goes on. So hopefully he embraces it like Booker T does. Yeah, man.
So do we think, shucky ducky quack quack aside,
Biscotti,
if he does end up doing commentary, it'll be on a Tuesday?
You'd think just because Pat is newly established on Raw, Corey and Wade newly established on SmackDown, they're not going to change them again, are they? You wouldn't think. Unless there's going to be some sort of roving commentator between the two brands. I don't know if that works for a third man for a little bit here, a little bit there. I don't know. NXT seems to be the place, though.
It feels like it is the place to be, as we all saw at Vengeance Day, which you and Jack Live reacted to over the weekend.
Yep, still on the channel now if you want to catch it on demand for our reactions to Carmelo Hayes doing the dirty one to Trick Willie. And also, unironically, a fantastic show from start to finish. Fantastic show. Up the Ava Rain. The best GM in all of wrestling.
If she is the best GM, she might want to look at the contract situation of one of her talent.
Yes, Fightful Select saying Dijak's contract is up in June of this very year. This year, tons of WWE deals are coming due, as many signed 5-year deals in 2019 after the formation of AEW. Of course, Dijak had one of the barn-burning matches of the night, a hardcore, silly bollocks affair, which turned gnarly on more than one occasion when he got taped round his eyes so he couldn't see, but he was still hitting wrestling moves. He took a bump backwards off the middle turnbuckle to the floor through a table, but like the end of the table, so it was like hard on his elbow. It looked gnarly, but it just makes you wonder what they're going to do with him because we've had the Retribution thing on the main roster. NXT just feels like he's there to have, good matches from time to time. The character work is different. Is it going anywhere? We don't know.
Do you see him as a potential call-up? Again?
I don't know. It's a really difficult one to say.
I don't dislike the character.
He's a fantastic wrestler. Let's just get that,
Yes.
He is beyond any shadow of a doubt.
There's a lot of fantastic wrestlers.
There is. Just the character is a little bit, I don't know. He's got a weird dungeon thing where he's got a tape recorder. He then punishes Ilya Dragunov in the dungeon. Could that be on Netflix next year? Why not?
I think you could do it on there. You'd have one of those little warnings in the corner. Contains violent score. Sexy. Just so you know what you're getting before you get into it. That could be a thing. Speaking of NXT stars who are getting the call-up, Tiff Stratz, PW Insider, love a bit of Tiff Stratz news, saying that she is now done with NXT and she's full-time on SmackDown going forward. She did a lot of good for herself in the Rumble. I think that expedited the call-up process.
Yeah, big. She did a lot of good for herself on SmackDown in her debut singles match on the main roster against Machine. It was a nice back and forth affair, but Tiffy just got to showcase a lot of what makes her very very good. It was clear from the get-go in the halcyon days of NXT 2.0 that she was destined for big things. The footwork was there in 2021, and now it's good to see her doing these things in 2024.
Will you miss her on a Tuesday?
Of course you will. She had a great send-off, though, getting killed off via horse trough. She got pushed in a horse trough that the horses drink out of, and she was never seen again.
It's kind of how we all want to go, isn't it? I want to go via horse trough. We'll end on this one, coming out of the wonderful world of Stardom. The situation between Stardom and its founder, Rossi Ogawa, different Rossi.
Not me.
Now has WWE implications to it now. So Ogawa, as we know, was recently fired from Bushi Road. This comes after claims that he was poaching talent from Stardom. Ogawa was ready to go from Stardom a little while back, but it's kind of been sped up over this past weekend. He's now done. It's revealed that he's planned to form his own wrestling promotion, which is possibly who he was poaching for.
Yeah, he's told Tokyo Sports, I was forced to play aggressive cards and there was harassment within the company that continued until I started to lose the will to continue working here. Because of that, some of the wrestlers and staff told me I'm not joining the organisation again.
He then did indeed confirm, yes, he is starting up his own company. I want to do again what we can't do in Stardom. There are quite a few things we can't do here because we are a big company and we can't do everything. So the idea of breaking away from a big business umbrella like Bushi Road and doing his own thing, kind of starting again as he did with Stardom back in the day. Ogawa apparently poaching talent for it, which was that was a big thing that came over the weekend, was the talent poaching thing. Tony Khan took some shots at that online.
He was very happy, wasn't he? Tony Khan.
Because apparently Tony really wanted to work. He wanted talent from Stardom for AEW, was unable to get them, and that's a worry for Tony. I don't know what wrestlers he could possibly use if he couldn't get access to Stardom talent. He's got hardly any in AEW that he could utilise.
No, there's a very thin roster.
I'm just saying, Tony, play with the toys you've got. Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio says that this situation with Rossi Ogawa and Stardom has direct implications for at least one person that WWE want to bring on board.
Julia, who was predicted by that sidekick to win the Women's Royal Rumble in that video I did a couple of weeks ago, but she's at the centre of this news piece here. The reason Dave Meltzer says that Julia, is delaying her WWE start so she could at least be there to kick off the Rossi Ogawa promotion for a while and to get the promotion going, and then she's going to end up with the WWE at some point. But when WWE was interested in her, she basically gave Big Rossi her word that she would help him get started out, and that's what she's going to do. She's actually postponing her WWE debut because she gave him her word. So
we'll see Julia as part of Rossi Ogawa's new promotion, according to this report, before we see her in WWE. So if only that psychic could have seen that coming.
I know. That's the only thing that stopped us from seeing Julia win the Women's Royal Rumble, obviously.
Obviously, that was the only thing. This is a really intriguing story with Rossi Ogawa breaking away from Stardom and the legal issues that are around it as well. It's certainly one that we're going to keep an eye on, Cultaholic.com as well. It's rare to have a whole video where we don't talk about the Cody Rock situation, so check out 3 pitches for Cody to finish the story. Myself.
News video 1 from today where we did reference said happening.
Oh, we did a lot of that, didn't we, this morning as well? We talked a lot about that as well. And if you haven't done so already, Fraser Porter and Sam Driver worked on a fantastic documentary called Over the Top Rope, which looks at our wanderlust for the Royal Rumble. And it features special guests like Maven Huffman and Kevin Owens and Dylan Postel, formerly Hornswoggle, Finn Martin from Power Slam's in there as well. And it's Fraser's story as a wrestling fan, which I really enjoyed watching, getting to go back to meet his mum and dad and his dog.
You get to see pictures of Fraser as a child.
You do, yes.
I don't know why I made that noise. Of all the noises, it is a very good watch, though. It's like half an hour of your time, 20 minutes of your time. It's very, very good from start to finish.
And you can check that out on the YouTube channel. And for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.